Good morning. Honored this morning to have Jill Castilla, the CEO of Citizens Bank of Edmond this morning. Good to see you.
So good to see you, Scott.
Kids at Navy, at Army, watching those games this year. Hey, some super serious information this week about some proposals to deal with people's deposits. Now, there's a lot of misinformation and conspiracy theories, but you brought this out. I heard your podcast the other day. This is a serious thing. It's going to be hurting banks, and the public needs to know the real facts about this. What's the concern?
So the concern is right now we report to the IRS and to our account holders a 1099 when they have interest payments from the bank, so that the IRS is aware of income that the bank is paying to deposit holders. This change would be that we would put on that 1099 all the inflows and outflows of your account, all your when your pay comes in, if you're transferring from a checking account to savings account, if you sold a car that you owned and that money came in, just not through cash, that we would report to the federal authorities if it was over $10,000 and document that it was a car sale. This would just then aggregate all that information and say, this is how much in total that Scott transferred between accounts, paid out, received in for the year. And if that aggregate amount was over $600, then we are reporting that to the IRS. It's really the first time that there's any proactive monitoring of a bank account. The thought is that the IRS would be able to collect more tax revenue because they would be able to identify people that they should be auditing. And I think what they think is that would be millionaires and billionaires doing all these complex transfers. But in reality, it's common person, a common business that's transferring accounts and getting well beyond $600.
So it's well beyond billionaires. Okay, so
well beyond. That's how it's being marketed right now. It's very effective, but we don't have any billionaires banking at Citizens Bank of Edmond. I have 20,000 account holders, and I will be issuing 20,000 1099s without a doubt.
What is that going to do in terms of your administrative overhead?
It'll be extraordinary. So the first time we ever had any reporting requirements from a bank to the federal government about accounts was right after 9/11. The Patriot Act was put in force with the Bank Secrecy Act, part of that. So if we see suspicious behavior, I have a legal responsibility. If I see tax evasion or even suspect it, I have a legal responsibility as well as a safe harbor to report that to the government. So that was the first time that happened. That takes 1.5 people out of my 55 team members just to do that. And it's not near the extreme of administrative burden that this would provide. And I'm just a little bank. I can't imagine if there was even more account holders. We're kind of more like a credit union, lots of consumer accounts. Again, just a regular guy that banks with us, not the ultra wealthy. And I think that you'll see it in credit unions and banks like ours, that really that you're talking 1 or 2 people that you have to have doing this full time, and those costs have to get absorbed somehow. And we're trying to survive, and this is just like one more thing that makes it difficult. We'll be stuffing the envelopes for 20,000 people.
Wow.
Which would just seem just completely ridiculous.
So most people that I've seen, most polling, is that they think this is no bueno, and Speaker's already said, well, it's negotiable. Hey, let me change the subject real quick. Got about 45 seconds. Heard on Heard. You're the founder. It had to go away a year ago because of COVID. This is the last one tonight. Tell us about it, and what have we learned about business, entertainment, food since the pandemic?
Yeah, so we transitioned. So 2019, we have our regular 8 Heard on Herds, did a couple of virtual ones in 2020, and then condensed our season until we saw kind of COVID get under control. We really saw the resiliency of small businesses. These food trucks adapted during COVID and started serving neighborhoods and businesses. And we saw some of them transition to storefronts. Downtown Edmond had this massive revitalization during COVID, really spurred initially by Heard on Heard. But the power of arts and bringing people together, we talk about in our, how great venues we like to visit throughout the city, and the inability to go inside and listen to concerts really show how important it is to have ways to celebrate music and the arts. And Heard on Her is a great piece of that. Our last one, we're having 4 bands playing, which is sort of unique. We usually just have 3, and we're looking for a great night.
Well, it's good to see you. And awesome. Best of luck on Her tonight. Last one, you better get out there.
Thanks so much.
See this again at news9.com/YourVoteCounts. Follow me on Twitter @MitchellTalks.